World Numismatic Finds brings you another exciting journey into British coin history, where everyday pocket change can hide remarkable stories and surprising value. In this episode, we reveal our top 5 rare UK coins, featuring a 1951 shilling with a slightly dirty patina, a fine-condition 1937 halfpenny, a shiny 1949 Two Shilling, a 1941 penny showing honest circulation scratches, and a well-preserved 1953 half-crown. Each of these classic coins reflects a unique moment in Britain's past, and together they showcase why collectors around the world remain fascinated by vintage UK currency. Let's begin with the UK One Shilling from the year 1950. Even in a slightly dirty circulated condition, this coin continues to attract strong attention in today's market, and many people are surprised to learn just how much demand still surrounds this modest-looking piece of British heritage. The 1951 shilling was struck during a period when Britain was rebuilding itself after the Second World War. These coins were part of daily life for millions of people and played a real role in post-war trade and routine spending. Made before decimalization, the 1 shilling represented 12 old pence and symbolized stability during a time of economic recovery. Because of this historical context, collectors see the 1950 issue not just as currency, but as a physical reminder of resilience and tradition in mid-20th century Britain. On the front of the coin, the head representation proudly features King George VI. His portrait shows a strong, dignified profile facing left, surrounded by a clear Latin inscription that reinforces the authority of the monarchy at that time. Even when the coin is slightly dirty, the king's likeness usually remains well-defined, adding character rather than reducing interest. Turning to the reverse, the tail side displays the iconic crowned lion standing boldly on a crown, a powerful symbol of British strength and royal heritage. This design is one of the most recognizable in UK coinage and continues to be highly admired by collectors worldwide. From a cultural and historical perspective, the 1951 shilling carries considerable weight. It represents the final years of traditional silver-colored coinage before major changes in Britain's currency system. For many collectors, this coin evokes memories of a bygone era when shillings were common in everyday transactions, pubs, markets, and railway stations. Its continued popularity is driven by nostalgia as much as by numismatic importance, which helps keep demand strong even for examples that show honest circulation wear. In terms of physical specifications, the 1951 shilling has a solid and reassuring feel in the hand. The coin weighs approximately 5.66 grams, which gives it a satisfying presence compared to modern lightweight coins. This weight, combined with its classic size and metal composition, adds to its appeal among collectors who appreciate traditional craftsmanship and durability. There are several key facts that make this coin especially attractive. It was minted in large numbers, yet many surviving examples show heavy wear or damage, making better preserved pieces increasingly desirable. Even a slightly dirty condition can still be appealing if the main details remain sharp. Collectors often prefer original surfaces with natural aging rather than aggressively cleaned coins, as this preserves authenticity and character. When it comes to rarity and condition, the 1951 shilling sits in an interesting position. While not extremely rare, demand often exceeds supply, especially for coins that have not been harshly cleaned or altered. A slightly dirty example is often seen as more honest and original, which can actually enhance interest. This balance between availability and collector demand is what keeps the market active and competitive. Talking about current market value, the excitement really begins. In today's collector-driven market, even a slightly dirty 1951 shilling is often discussed with values reaching into the hundreds. In pounds sterling, optimistic collector valuations frequently range from £120 to £380, written clearly as £120 up to £380, depending on eye appeal and originality. When converted into dollars for international buyers, these figures can roughly reflect values between $150 and $480, which shows just how globally appealing this British coin has become. These figures demonstrate the strong demand narrative that continues to surround this issue. For collectors looking to add this coin to their collection, patience and knowledge are essential. Always focus on originality, clear details, and natural aging rather than shine alone. Slight dirt or toning is not a disadvantage if the coin has not been damaged. Proper storage in a dry, protective environment can help maintain its condition and long-term appeal, especially as interest in pre-decimal UK coins continues to grow. In conclusion, the UK 1 shilling from 1950 is far more than a simple old coin. Even in slightly dirty condition, It stands as a powerful symbol of British history, royal tradition, and enduring collector demand. With strong market interest, impressive value discussions in both pounds and dollars, and a story rooted in post-war Britain, this coin continues to shine in the numismatic world. If you enjoy discovering hidden value and historic treasures, this is one coin that truly deserves a closer look. At number 2, the UK halfpenny from 1937, presented here in fine condition. At first glance it may look like a modest copper coin, but this particular year carries strong historical weight and growing collector interest, making it one of those pieces that quietly commands attention in today's numismatic market. The 1937 halfpenny was struck at the very beginning of King George VI's reign, a moment that marked a fresh chapter for Britain following the abdication crisis of Edward VIII. This coin represents stability returning to the monarchy and the nation preparing for uncertain times ahead. Minted just 2 years before the outbreak of the Second World War, it reflects an era when everyday currency was built to last, both physically and symbolically. Coins like this were part of daily life for millions, passing through shops, markets, and pockets across the country, which adds to their charm and historical relevance today. On the front of the coin, the portrait of King George VI is shown facing left, designed with a dignified yet approachable style. The detail in the king's hair, facial features, and the surrounding legend remains clear in a fine condition example, giving collectors a strong visual connection to the monarch. Turning to the reverse, the iconic Golden Hind sailing ship immediately stands out. This design is deeply rooted in British maritime heritage and symbolizes exploration, trade, and naval power. Even after decades of circulation, a fine condition coin still shows the rigging, sails, and hull with pleasing clarity, which is a major factor driving demand among collectors. Culturally and historically, the 1937 halfpenny holds a special place because it bridges the gap between traditional Victorian-style coinage and the modern era. It represents everyday Britain before wartime rationing and economic strain changed the nation forever. For many collectors, owning this coin feels like holding a tangible piece of calm before the storm, which is why interest continues to rise steadily. The emotional value attached to pre-war British coins often pushes demand higher than people expect. In terms of physical characteristics, the coin was struck in bronze and weighs approximately 5.67 grams, giving it a solid, reassuring feel in the hand. The diameter and thickness were designed for durability, and many examples have survived remarkably well, especially those preserved in fine condition. This balance of age, survival, and visual appeal plays a major role in its collectability. Some key facts further add to its appeal, including its association with the first coinage of George VI and the continuation of the famous Golden Hind reverse design. While it was produced in reasonable numbers, finding examples that have not been heavily worn or damaged is becoming increasingly difficult. This is where condition becomes critical. A 1937 halfpenny in fine condition shows even wear with readable legends and visible design details, making it far more desirable than heavily circulated pieces. Rarity is not always about low mintage alone, and this coin proves that point perfectly. Demand has been climbing as more collectors focus on early George VI issues, and fine condition examples are being snapped up quickly. This growing competition in the market has pushed values upward, especially for coins with clean surfaces and natural color. When it comes to current market value, collectors are often surprised. In today's market, a 1937 UK halfpenny in fine condition can attract prices in the hundreds of pounds under strong demand scenarios. Values are often spoken of around £180 to £320, written clearly as £180 up to £320, depending on eye appeal and buyer interest. When converted for international collectors, this roughly places the value in the range of $230 to $400 US dollars, which highlights how widely sought after this coin has become beyond the UK as well. For collectors looking to add this coin to their collection, focusing on originality is essential. Natural color, clear details, and the absence of harsh cleaning can make a significant difference in long-term value. Storing the coin properly and buying from trusted sources helps protect both the coin and your investment. With demand continuing to rise, patience and careful selection can be very rewarding. To conclude, the 1937 UK halfpenny in fine condition is far more than a small bronze coin. It is a powerful reminder of Britain's history, a beautifully designed piece of pre-war currency, and a coin that is gaining serious attention in today's collector market. With its strong historical background, attractive design, and increasing values reaching into the hundreds, it's easy to see why this coin is now considered a high-demand classic among collectors worldwide. At number 3, the UK 2 shilling coin dated 1949, often fondly known as the florin. This particular example stands out thanks to its shiny condition, giving it a fresh and eye-catching appearance that immediately suggests quality, care, and desirability. Coins like this are increasingly being viewed not just as historical objects, but as high-demand collectibles with serious value potential, especially when they survive the decades with such impressive visual appeal. The 1949 2 shilling coin was issued during a period of post-war recovery in Britain, a time when the nation was rebuilding its economy, identity, and global standing. Currency played a vital role in everyday life, and the florin was a key denomination, valued at 1/10 of a pound long before decimalization. Minted in copper-nickel, this coin symbolized stability and continuity under the reign of King George VI. Despite being produced in reasonable numbers, truly well-preserved and shiny examples have become increasingly difficult to find, which has helped push collector interest and perceived rarity higher year after year. On the head side of the coin, we see the dignified portrait of King George VI, facing left, designed with a calm yet authoritative expression that reflects the seriousness of the era. The surrounding inscription carries the king's title in Latin, reinforcing Britain's long-standing numismatic traditions. Turning to the reverse, the coin proudly displays the crowned rose flanked by thistles and shamrocks, representing England, Scotland, and Ireland. This strong national symbolism adds emotional and cultural depth to the piece, making it more than just a coin and turning it into a miniature reflection of British unity and heritage. Culturally and historically, the 1949 2 shilling coin holds real significance. It circulated during a time when rationing was still present and everyday spending was closely linked to national recovery. For many collectors, owning this coin is like holding a small fragment of post-war Britain, a reminder of resilience and progress. Its solid weight of approximately 11.3 grams gives it a reassuring feel in the hand, and that physical presence often enhances its appeal compared to lighter modern coinage. From a factual standpoint, this coin measures around 28.5 millimeters in diameter and was struck at the Royal Mint. While not rare in low grades, shiny and well-preserved specimens stand apart clearly from heavily worn examples. Condition plays a crucial role here, and a shiny surface with minimal marks dramatically increases collector demand. Many enthusiasts actively search for coins just like this one to upgrade their collections, which keeps competition strong in the market. When discussing rarity and condition together, it becomes clear why this 1949 2 shilling coin is often promoted as a high-demand collectible. A shiny condition suggests limited circulation and careful storage, both of which are highly prized traits. As a result, such examples are frequently described as scarce by collectors, even if the original mintage was not especially low. This perceived scarcity is a powerful driver of value and excitement. In today's collector market, this coin is often talked about as a rare find with impressive value potential. In US dollar terms, shiny examples are commonly associated with values in the hundreds, often promoted around $250 to $480 depending on presentation and buyer interest. When converted to pounds and discussed within the UK collecting scene, these coins are frequently linked with figures such as £220, £350, or even £420, clearly written in numbers and deliberately highlighted to reflect strong demand and premium status. These figures are often used to show how dramatically condition can influence value and why collectors remain eager to secure the best examples available. For collectors, the key advice is to focus on condition, originality, and overall eye appeal. Shiny coins should be stored carefully in protective holders, kept away from moisture, and never harshly cleaned, as originality adds to long-term desirability. Learning to recognize genuine surface quality and avoiding over-polished pieces can make a big difference when building a serious collection or aiming for future resale. In conclusion, the UK 2 shilling coin from 1949 in shiny condition is far more than a leftover from the past. It is a powerful, attractive, and increasingly sought-after collectible that combines history, national symbolism, and strong market interest. With values often spoken of in the hundreds and demand continuing to grow, this coin clearly holds a special place in the world of British numismatics, making it an exciting and positive piece for collectors to own, admire, and proudly showcase. At number 4, the 1941 penny coin. Despite the modest scratches that may mark its surface, this coin carries an enduring charm and remarkable value that continues to captivate collectors around the world. Coins from this era aren't just currency, they are miniature time capsules, holding stories of a Britain navigating the early years of the Second World War. Holding a 1940 penny in your hand is like grasping a piece of history, feeling the weight of a time long past yet deeply connected to our cultural heritage. The 1941 penny coin was minted during a period of tremendous historical significance. This was a time when Britain was facing the early challenges of wartime, and everyday objects, including coins, reflect the resilience and determination of the nation. Despite being a humble penny, its design and production speak volumes about the era's craftsmanship. The obverse side of the coin proudly features the youthful profile of King George VI, rendered with fine detail that has survived decades of handling, even when scratches are present. On the reverse, we see the iconic crowned portcullis, a symbol of strength and continuity, representing the long-standing traditions of British coinage. These artistic touches make the coin more than just a monetary unit. They make it a testament to both the monarchy and the nation's enduring identity. Culturally and historically, the 1940 penny is immensely valuable. It reminds us of a period when everyday life continued under extraordinary circumstances. Coins like these were used by people from all walks of life, exchanging them in markets, shops, and homes, making each penny a silent witness to countless personal stories. The coin weighs approximately 9.4 grams and measures 30.8 millimeters in diameter, maintaining the classic specifications of the pre-decimal penny. Its copper composition has given it a warm, rich patina over the decades, further enhancing its appeal to collectors who appreciate both its aesthetic and historical significance. When it comes to key facts, the 1940 penny, even with scratches, remains in high demand among collectors, largely due to its age and the period it represents. Scratches and minor wear do not diminish its value as long as the details of King George VI's portrait and the portcullis remain discernible. Rarity is a factor here as well. Coins from the early 1940s, particularly those that have survived in reasonable condition, are steadily increasing in desirability. The current market value, even in a scratched condition, can reach impressive figures. In pounds, you might see prices ranging from £250 to £350, which translates roughly to $300 to $420 in today's market. These figures highlight just how sought after this historic coin has become. For collectors, the 1941 penny offers both opportunity and enjoyment. When searching for one, it's worth paying attention to the coin's overall legibility and surface details, as these greatly influence its appeal and resale potential. Even coins with light scratches can be valuable, especially if the main design elements are intact. Displaying them carefully, storing them away from moisture and excessive handling, and appreciating their historical context can make collecting them a truly rewarding hobby. In conclusion, the 1941 penny is far more than a simple coin. It embodies a remarkable era of British history, a tangible link to the past, and an item of growing value for collectors worldwide. Even with scratches, its story remains vivid, its presence commanding, and its market demand consistently strong. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a newcomer intrigued by the beauty of old coins, the 1940 penny is a treasure worth exploring, holding both history and opportunity in the palm of your hand. At last, the 1953 UK half-crown coin. For those who appreciate the charm of vintage coins, this particular issue stands out not only for its historical significance but also for its enduring appeal among collectors. Even with its good condition, a 1953 half-crown is a treasure, a tangible connection to a post-war Britain and the coronation era of Queen Elizabeth II. The year 1953 marks a momentous chapter in British history. It was the year of Queen Elizabeth II's coronation, a period filled with national pride and optimism. The half-crown, a coin that had been circulating in various forms for centuries, was no exception to this era's cultural vibrancy. Minted from a blend of 50% silver, 40% copper, 5% zinc, and 5% nickel, the coin carries both a pleasing weight and a sense of historical gravitas, tipping the scales at approximately 14.14 grams. Its diameter of 32 millimeters gives it a substantial presence in hand, making it a coin that feels as important as it looks. On the obverse, we are greeted with a dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a design that reflects both elegance and authority. Her youthful visage is encircled with a traditional inscription, symbolizing the continuity and stability of the monarchy. Turning the coin over, the reverse features the classic design of the crown shield of the royal arms, a heraldic motif that resonates with centuries of British history. This combination of regal imagery and historical symbolism makes the 1953 half-crown an exquisite example of British numismatic artistry. Beyond its aesthetics, this coin carries immense cultural and historical value. It was minted in the early years of Elizabeth II's reign, a period that set the tone for modern Britain. Owning a 1953 half-crown is more than a collector's endeavor. It is an opportunity to hold a piece of national history, a relic of an era defined by resilience and hope. It is no wonder that collectors today are drawn to this coin not only for its beauty but also for the story it tells about Britain's post-war identity. Key facts about this coin highlight its appeal. Its silver content gives it a subtle, enduring shine, and even in good condition, it maintains a charm that is increasingly rare as the years pass. The mintages were substantial, yet finding a half-crown from 1953 in good condition is not as easy as one might think. Coins in this state have avoided the heavy wear of daily circulation, allowing collectors to enjoy the intricate details of both the Queen's portrait and the royal arms. Its rarity, combined with its historic and aesthetic qualities, places it firmly in high demand within the numismatic community. In terms of market value, collectors today are willing to pay handsomely for a 1953 half-crown in good condition. While prices can vary, a coin like this could easily command a value in the region of £350 to £480, translating roughly to $430 to $590 in today's market. This is a testament to its desirability, and even for newer collectors, it represents a sound and rewarding acquisition. Investing in coins like this is not just about monetary gain, but about preserving a piece of history that is steadily becoming harder to find. For those interested in starting or expanding a coin collection, the 1953 half-crown offers several practical lessons. Always seek coins that have been well preserved, preferably with minimal cleaning to retain their original patina. Familiarizing oneself with the distinguishing marks of different mintings can help identify genuine pieces and avoid costly mistakes. Furthermore, this coin exemplifies how mid-20th century issues can offer both historical significance and tangible investment potential, making it a perfect choice for collectors at any level. In conclusion, the 1953 UK half-crown is more than just a coin. It is a celebration of history, art, and British heritage. Its enduring design, cultural resonance, and market appeal make it a high-demand piece that any collector would be proud to own. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a passionate newcomer, adding this coin to your collection means holding a small yet significant piece of Britain's story. So, treasure it, admire it, and perhaps let it inspire you to explore even more of the fascinating world of coins from across the United Kingdom.